determines how many monsters.
Hey, welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome to Session 0, Episode 7, probably. That's just a wild guess, really. When we last left
47,
off...
you don't remember?
Yeah.
Dan, you've been in a coma for 3 years.
We've been playing with you.
We still haven't replaced my ceiling fan. It's still awful. Alright. So, when we last left off, the party had encountered a few people in the Thanos bar, and Kepesk punched a Terminator, enraging him. The Terminator struck back. No, that was episode 5. Never mind.
So that
Still happened.
was a different episode.
Yeah, that was a different. Like, yeah, well, it was still in the bar, so
Yeah.
still thinking about what.
We've just signed up with the Adventurers.
Yeah, you've signed up with the Adventurers Guild. Discovered the origin of the harp in the 7-stringed harp. Talked to what's his face about the gauntlets, etc., etc. And you are now outside the Adventurers Guild, preparing to embark on your next journey. Yes.
We have our character sheets.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, hang on.
I knew I was missing
we'll pause.
something.
Sorry.
Is it? We're good? Okay. So, we now find ourselves outside, now equipped with our character sheets, outside the Adventurers Guild, having agreed to 2 of the several postings on the
2? I
Adventure
thought we
board.
only did the Kathy Harper, Joseph Harper child quest.
No, I agreed to the Griffin.
That and the Griffin.
Right.
Can we take another look at the board?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you find the other stuff that you had lost last time?
What?
Did you find the ones that you had lost last time?
Yes.
Okay.
But, as a matter of fact, there were listings that were not previously there.
As we reloaded our save file.
We just kind of turned it off and on again, and the world started working correctly. So, as you take a look at the board here, you see... Let's see. You see another one here, which seems to be like a quite fine parchment. This is some epic music for reading. Okay. You see, it's this nice like quality parchment paper. It seems to be nicely tacked up there. This one says, "I need Phyllobiletus pallescens for an upcoming experiment. It is a type of bioluminescent subterranean fungus, notable for its vibrant blue hue. As much as you please, as fast as you can. Ask a dwarf for directions. Amelior amanitus."
What's the fungi name again? Slower.
Phyllobiletus pallescens. You're not gonna spell it right.
I don't.
If
I don't spell normal words.
Yeah,
words,
I mean,
right?
you wouldn't know it.
Plus.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Kepesk memorizes how to spell it. You also see. Here it is.
You just met a dwarf. You just met a dwarf.
It
Making
says.
friends.
The other one seems to be just kind of regular, dirty parchment paper. Dear adventurers, a group of us cattle herders have banded together to pay for the eradication of an unsightly beast that has been slaughtering our cattle. It looks somewhat like a wolf with eyes burning like burning coals, and it stands on 2 legs, about 4 to 5 feet tall. See anyone in the field for information. 78 gold reward.
How much was the fungi reward?
Fungi? Wasn't listed. Okay.
He just wants some.
I
Maybe
mean,
you can suck his dick. But,
most, as you've gathered, every quest in one way or every venture in one way or another has some sort of reward, so it's safe to assume that this has one. Yes.
Can I sign up for all of them except the Eldritch Monsters?
Yeah, if you go back in. Can I help you? More?
All of them except the Eldritch Monster.
I see. All right. That's the prized heifer. Bless you, sir.
Are we all signing up?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I guess.
Very well. And he puts you down. the cattle herders with the wolf-like creature, and the Philobelletus mushroom. I'm familiar with that one. Puts her down. All right. Well, good luck to you.
I don't know what that was.
Get on, scum deer. All right. As you head back outside, what would you like to do?
Would you guys like to discuss which of these we should look at first?
You sure we don't want to look at the murder god?
But no.
I think we'll pass on
We're
it,
good.
Arden. We'll look at
I
it
mean,
soon.
you can. There's
It'll
nothing
be-
stopping you.
Strength in numbers. Oh, by the way, did you say everything but the unsightly beast? Or everything but the eldritch
Yeah,
monstrosity?
I
Yeah.
said that.
Okay.
Yeah, the-
I
I
just wanted to
specifically only want that one. I will take it alone.
Take it on his own.
I will rage 4 times in a row. Or no, how many do I have?
3.
3, yeah.
I say we go for the
What's
Like,
gonna get us the most money?
all of them.
That one.
Yes.
Which one?
Long
was the
run.
most-
But we're not talking about long. What's
I didn't write it down
Griffin.
because
Didn't write it down?
Didn't
I
the child
only
have
did
100 gold?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
gonna,
sorry, I
I'm
need
gonna read
the-
you.
I
I'm
need-
gonna read you the quests, and I'll give you the prices.
Okay.
Yeah, the child was 100 gold.
Okay.
Griffin was 45.
how much is it?
Lost
total?
Child, Joseph Harper, Kathleen Harper, 100 gold.
Okay.
Plus fun guy.
The half a cow is 45 gold by the 2 elderly ladies. That's what they looked like. Took the half cow. The griffin was 65. And the unsightly beast was 78.
I have a plan.
And the Philobelletus was not listed.
How much was the griffin? I'm sorry.
The griffin was 65.
65.
So-
So those are the only ones?
Currently on the board,
There's
yes.
only 3 besides the Eldritch Monster.
There's
I felt like there's a lot.
5.
Yeah,
total.
what? Did you not just hear the list?
I heard.
There's a
Lost
missing
child.
child, Griffin.
Oh, and the
Missing
cow,
cow.
and
The cow and those things that have been slaughtering various cows.
Oh, right.
Before I say my plan, what's the Griffin head story again? Why does he want the head?
I'll just read it again. While out on patrol with a small garrison, my favorite horse was snatched by a griffin. Bring the thing's head. 65 gold reward. Brigadier Mannings of the Lord's Alliance.
Okay, so this lady is looking for half a cow, and the cow slaughterer thing likes to eat cows. So
Wasn't
I say we find a cow and we cut it in half, and then we give the one half to the old ladies and say that we found it even though we didn't because they're
wasn't-
old and senile.
the story
That
was that the two
I sort of
ladies took...
misread that. One dude saw that half of his cow was taken by what seemed to be 2 old ladies.
Yeah.
The ladies took the cow.
Oh,
That I
Okay.
kind of read that in a weird way.
like they
Rip.
cut it in half and took 1/2 of it.
I'll read that one again.
Okay.
Good folk, recently my prized heifer was taken from my fields during the night by what looked to be 2 decrepit women. Problem is, they took the front half of the cow. Find the old coots and make them pay. 45 gold reward.
okay, so they don't even need the cow. Right. Never mind.
Solid plan, but I think maybe we'll save it.
Out of character. We could just no, because that's.
Okay, let's not.
You're right. That's metagaming.
We're not.
I'm
Let's not
sorry.
make any plans yet. Let's just talk about which one we'd like to
That's
take.
Can I
what
get the
plans-
price for the half cow and
Well,
the wolf monster?
I mean,
being
just
steep?
selecting
I-
a quest and then...
Wolf monster is 78.
See?
Half cow is 45.
A plan. Correct.
Well, the child does get us the most money. And immediately after that, there's nothing weird about what I said. And immediately after that, the wolf creature. Wait. The wolf creature. In terms of straight profit, that's what we get best.
What if the wolf creature is the child?
Wait,
That's a point.
The
That's a point.
child,
You could be right.
and then the half cow.
Do you think the cow is connected?
Yes. No.
No, it
I'm
got
saying
gun.
money-wise.
Well,
Those are the
that's
two
true.
sequentially the best. In fact, the wolf dude was the least.
All
out
right.
of
So
it.
what are we suggesting here?
Child.
Let's
Children.
Let's go kidnap a child
Okay.
from another kidnapper.
Let's talk to some parents.
You're a child. You know what children do, right?
You're like 8.
Let's go talk to his parents.
All right.
Let's-
So
Let's find his parents.
as you take the
I'm sorry.
as
Okay.
part of the contract is you take the paper from the board as you basically just walk
Oh,
up to it
and take everything.
remove all 5 pieces of paper except for the high venture of the murder god. As you take a look here, so would anyone in particular like to carry the papers?
Sure.
2 hands raised. As you both go to like reach for
Dude,
it,
get
you're like,
out.
I've got my bag. I've already got books in it. I've got papers. Can I keep track of them? Yeah.
Alright.
Thumbs up. So we're had.
Considering you just kind of took the whole paper, I'll just give you the sheet.
Cool.
Wait.
So you have access to that.
Neat.
You can do with that whatever you will.
Right,
I probably will need it back just to keep track of it. But
That's okay.
anyway, well, actually, I know it all offhand. Never mind. All right. So as you take a look, most pieces of paper involve some on the back. There's some sort of information. Further, in this specific instance of the child one, there is a cardinal direction and an approximate location. And description of the house that you'd be looking for. As you follow it, who would like to helm this investigation check?
I'll take the main one if you guys
have
want to help me.
proficiency in
I want to
investigation.
talk
Do
to the
that.
parents.
You should. Wait. So
Okay.
do I.
Never
Simon,
mind.
I was wrong.
All
But I
right.
did.
Would one of you like to help Simon, or would you
I'll
like to?
help.
Okay. You do it with advantage.
It's an 11.
11. Okay. You having dealt with cities somewhat like this in the past, where you've had to dodge in and out of alleyways and such, you kind of get the hang of ducking through an alleyway and then realizing you're in the wrong spot and kind of ducking back and circling around, and you get a more thorough look about the city now, kind of searching for this house. You see, yes,
Well, are we eventually gonna find the house? Like, is that where the end?
you'll find out. As you're kind of like searching around, you're looking around some of the far walls. You actually see at one point what seems to be a large metallic gargoyle that's just kind of like cat-like with enormous wings, just ka-chink, 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 ka-chink,
On a catwalk?
like
I
no,
want
it's cat-like.
Oh, sorry.
A giant metallic gargoyle that's just kind of like walking along the walls and prowling around like a cat looking for its prey, as it's just kind of meandering about on the walls. As some of the folk seem to notice it and don't really pay it any mind.
I'm
You
just
also
like,
see a really splendid like 3-story tower,
Huh?
which you didn't see before. You know, it's just very, very pristine, beautiful tower. And outside there are 2 similar like rock gargoyles, similar to it, just like sitting there motionless outside it, as just on the sides of the entrance to this tower. As you take a look at it, it's just, you know, gilded with beautiful like purples and golds. It's just a nice sort of simple tower with no immediately visible windows as you're looking at it. However, you do manage to find the house that matches the description, with Kepesk kind of leading you, and you eventually do. Oh, shoot! You eventually come upon the correct location, you believe, as you see outside.
Why am I
is
leading?
you and Simon are
You
both
made
looking
the
for this.
checks.
'Cause
Oh, I see.
you,
I'm just kinda like-
you helped Simon
Okay.
to do this.
this is great.
No.
You're just kind of
Just following.
yeah, you're following along, as is Arden. As you see what seems to be outside a simple, simply clad man seems to be about 6 feet tall, but he's crouched over trying to like repair a small like fence outside. There's like a tiny little garden immediately out this with a few really wilted plants in front of it, as there's a few like snow blotches here and there that seem to be somewhat snuffing out the life in this garden. As you're taking a look at it, he's just like hammering together the fence as you're approaching. It seems to be the right place.
Alright, so
I would like to immediately walk over.
Okay. Just walk up. Adventurers, can I help you?
I'm looking for a Joseph Harper.
That would be myself.
Me and fellow group are here to help you with your lost child.
About time. Thank you very much. What are your names?
Hershey Norio.
Simon.
Simon.
Kepesk.
And Arden kind of like walks up. Sarah, nice to meet you. Just kind of leans forward. As this guy kind of like, very well, thank you all. Well, the long and short of it is that one night we heard our daughter in distress, myself and my wife. So I decided to get up and go to investigate. Upon arriving, I saw, as he like covers his forehead as if just the thought of it causes him terrible pain, as he just kind of like it looked like a witch or a crone of some sort was bent over the crib and lifting my daughter out of it. She was cradling her in her arms. It was horrible. This woman caught sight of me and gave me a smile and dashed off. She scaled the walls, I do not know how. As you kind of see that the house is pretty close, almost butted up against the outside, somewhat crumbling brick wall. She vanished into the night. I took a torch and a pitchfork and ran out to try to catch her, but I just saw her disappear into the woods. There were some lights, but I couldn't follow. I eventually got lost. It took me almost a full day to find myself out of there, and by the time I got back, my wife was already mourning. If there's anything you can do, or any more you need to know, please let me know. I'll do anything.
Exactly what direction did she head?
He kind of takes a look and points. From here, he points northeast.
Great. Got it written down.
Okay.
Well, we'll do our best to recover her.
Thank you.
At least give you some closure.
I appreciate it. Whatever you find, don't hold anything back. But know that her name is Amelia, if you do find her. She's only a few months old, about 3, but whatever you can find, just tell us, as hard as the news may be. I wish you luck. May the gods light your path.
Give him a pat on the back, but very awkward, stiff pat.
Thank you.
I just
Okay.
because I'm used to doing that.
Yeah. You bow in a way that's just kind of like you forming an L shape, which is not possible given your physicality, but since there's the counterweight of your own ass holding you in place, you're able to do this. It looks a little physics bending, but sure, you did that. Thank you all. You're too kind. I wish you luck. Farewell. As he goes back to work.
What?
Oh,
That guys was a real downer, huh?
I think it's the ladies that took the cow. Or the cow.
You might be onto something. That could be something.
Wow.
Simon, you wrote that down, right?
I wrote everything down.
Great. Okay.
You can
We
read,
could
right?
definitely look. I think I can read. Can you read?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you tell intelligence below 15?
No.
Yes, it is.
Well,
It's
maybe
It's
5.
5, not 15 yet.
5 is like bear intelligence.
I know, that was a joke.
I know.
This is above, like, 34. Then no, you can't be.
Did Leviticus start at like a 3?
No, he had
Five.
5.
You
Oh,
started
okay.
at 5,
And
then
now
it went
the
up to
intelligence
6,
is literally at the-
then it went up to 7, and
How
then
did
it got
that-
up to 8, and
how
then
did
with the
that-
feet you got up to 10.
Like,
That was previous campaign. Forgive us our
okay,
round.
Yeah.
never mind. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because we discovered that you weren't supposed to roll a d20 for your stats, which we did.
Let's put these on the floor.
But anyway,
Okay.
That could have been so
Oh, you
well.
know, I got both.
that was really pro. That was some
Yeah,
great
that was
buttons.
good.
All right, so what would you like to do?
I want to just
Well,
walk
okay.
northeast.
I don't
Same.
want to be an ass.
Hmm.
And I'm going to say this out of character because it may have just been changed. On here it says her name is Isabella. But you said her name is Amelia.
I was gonna make an Amelia Earhart.
But I know for a fact last time you said her name was Amelia.
Okay,
So maybe this was a pre-draft?
I figured that I hadn't written down her name, so I just made up a name.
Okay, I
Oh,
understand.
no.
Honestly,
It says Isabella.
okay, yeah, it's Isabel.
He just
Okay.
forgot. He's just
It's
like, Amelia's
so
a pretty
long.
name.
So should we go for Amelia or Isabel?
It's Isabel.
Okay.
I
I just-
can't make the. She got lost.
Of Amelia.
What?
Amelia
Oh,
Earhart.
great.
How do you spell Isabel?
Isobel according to Dan.
There are multiple ways to spell Isabel.
A Sobel?
I was like, oh,
No,
Isabel.
alright, you can spell, alright,
I can see
Isobel. Isabel.
Is it
It's
important?
very important and pertinent
That
to the
looks
campaign.
Yes.
old-fashioned.
It's Scottish.
Oh.
Okay,
It's-
that's
Hey,
Isabel. No.
it's
Alright.
an A and you'll never...
You guys
never
aren't
be right.
cultured enough.
Isobel, Daniel.
This is my daughter, Isotope. She has a half-life of 37 years and a nuclear weight of 37. That's the same as her age. That's normal.
Can we meet like a scientist that actually says that? That'd be really funny.
That's conceivable.
She's just glowing violently. The witch has died of cancer already.
Alright, so,
Isabel is who we're looking for.
yes, you're looking for Isabel.
I
Is
want to
she
talk
really?
to Griffin guy.
Okay.
Griffin.
Wait, shouldn't we take care of one thing at a time?
You what?
I think we should focus on this first.
Multitasking now. You're twice as efficient.
No.
Not always.
Well, you're doing 2 things at once. It's math.
Sometimes that decreases your productivity.
What?
If you hunt 2 prey at once, one always escapes.
If you hunt two
That's
prey-
actually really smart.
Right?
My friend, you are wise beyond your years.
I try to bite his hand.
Make a strength check.
Is he actually like hand on shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. 18.
18.
Goodbye hand.
19.
No!
Like, you. What are your years, by the way? How old are you?
A lot. More than this many.
I've probably asked this question already. Let's move on. So,
At least 8.
multitasking.
More than 8.
Well, we could ask around to see if anybody's ever experienced anything similar. Maybe if there's any known witches that live in that area.
Anybody got a lost child? Literally everyone raises their hand.
Anyone have a dead baby?
Put out an Amber alert. Alright. So you're
Just message to everyone individually.
So you're going to ask around for information on.
I want to ask Graham.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, just kind of information on that part of the woods.
Do you want to do it together or separately?
So yeah.
Together. Okay. You make it with advantage because all three of them are helping you.
Why?
Total? What's your total?
It's 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's when y'all help it gets worse.
As you're just kind of searching around the town, asking a few people here and there, most people are just like ignoring you or not really giving you anything helpful. At one point, you stumble across just a really like disgusting old man, like
Old man.
like yeah, he smells like his own feces and beer, and he's just wasted in broad daylight.
Warm
As it's
diarrhea.
like as it's like, you know, mid late morning or so. As you talk to him, he's just like, the hags in the woods. I saw them once. They ate, I think, my best mate.
What was your best mate's name? What did he look like?
He takes another swig of his bottle of alcohol.
Yes.
I eat. They
Did you
eat.
just say I eat kids?
They eat kids. That, yeah. It was them I was thinking of. No.
I'm gonna. Oh God!
Vomits partially all over himself and kind of on the ground.
I was about to do something, and I'm glad that I
I
didn't.
wasn't paying attention.
I was gonna like lift him and just like slap him the shit.
You just sort of vomited. just kind of like.
Just a little in my mouth.
Oh,
Just like a
no.
little.
You're just like, Anyway, as he just kind of like, who are you?
Wait,
I'm just gonna kind of walk away.
Thanks
Okay.
for your help, buddy.
Alright.
I want to cast mending on his clothes.
Mending? Okay. As you
Oh.
kind of like lean down and cast mending, some of the torn stitching in his cloth fabric just kind of like begins to and whip and begin to weave into itself and begin to bind it together. He's just like, I should quit drinking. As he just kind of gets up and like stumbles off into the marketplace,
I thought you were gonna make him throw up again,
He
like
was,
onto
like,
his clothes.
Fix that guy.
freaking out.
Wait, would healing word cure alcoholism? would it stop you from being like drunk?
Well, there's a difference between
Because aren't you?
being inebriated and having physical wounds.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's all mental wounds, Dad. It's in his brain. That's
I want to
physical.
cast mending on his mental
on
health.
his, on his brain.
Alright, as he
It
just,
just
Oh,
like
now
becomes
he
one
can-
solid
Totters off.
mass
I
with no
cast
creases.
mending on my family life.
I cast mending on my mom and dad's marriage.
It failed.
Oh no. I cast firebolt on the divorce papers.
Oh no.
Okay. So,
I wonder what would happen if
with
that-
family lives intact, what would you like to do?
Whoa.
It's just.
Is there a library without cursed knives in it?
That's a
No.
very
Another
specific
obscure reference to our previous campaign.
Make an investigation check.
Knife check.
Can I make it on the table because it keeps
question.
like
No.
cocking itself?
Well, it's. That's good.
What was it? Investigation?
Investigate.
23.
23. Alright.
Simon
Um,
Harlow?
That's investigation, not perception.
Oh shoot.
Similar. So, as you make your way through the town, you do find, eventually, you pass, like, a few various... You find what seems to be, like, a cobbled-together market district, in that it has a few, you know, you see a general store, you know, there seems to be a blacksmith shop that's, like, there's a dude just, like, sitting outside, just, like, he's not doing anything, he's just chilling there. You take a look around, you know, it seems to be what is simply a few ragtag shops that look like they're all going out of business, but there are people inside, as you do eventually come upon what seems to be a simple bookshop. There's literally just a
With
hanging
3
post.
books.
It's just got a picture of a book just kind of hanging from the door.
Okay.
Just imagining like a
I'm gonna enter.
Okay. As you enter, you go inside and you see this kind of elderly woman who's just sitting behind the counter with some small spectacles. She looks just, her demeanor is quite unfriendly.
looks like
She's
a
just wrinkly
hag.
and has like kind of jowly, big frown on her face. Is just kind of reading it, just continuing to read her book. Not really paying any mind to you.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go in and kind of browse and see if I can find anything pertaining to hags and or the woods
Okay.
around the city.
Make an investigation check.
It's 14.
14. You take a look around and you see that, the selection is pretty limited here. You see a lot of fiction, a lot of like novel storytelling books. 1 or 2 history books, nothing really advanced. You do eventually come upon a book that seems to be like almost a journal of some kind, that seems to have... Stop playing footsie.
never.
It seems to contain... You do find a few things about a few various monsters of similar types. As you're beginning to like flip through it to look for more, you just hear this, "Can I help you?
Yes, I'm just browsing.
Are you buying that?
Probably?
Good. If you don't, you can't read it here.
Okay. Will do.
Are you buying it now?
Sure.
I'll bring it here.
Okay. I'm gonna come up to the...
Alright, as you come up to the counter and she kind of like peers over you.
Oh, you're a sprightly one, aren't you? Well, let's see.
And she takes it from you and kind of inspects it for a moment. Kind of checks it for like the quality and stuff.
17 gold.
Is there any way I could just browse it? Just flip through it?
I'll take
No,
out.
this is a bookstore. We're not a library.
Okay. Is there anywhere you could point me to where I could read about some things?
No. This is a combo. What do you
I'm gonna
expect?
take out my bag of gold. It's 14 and plop it on the desk.
Kepesk, we don't need this out now. It's
Well,
fine.
thank you. I don't see a lot of lizard folk around here. Thank you.
She kind of scrapes it towards herself, takes the gold. It's
This is 14. It's 17 gold. Do you know how to count? Can you count?
You can't.
I take the book. Never mind. I don't want to.
So who's paying for the rest of this? It's 3 gold.
Guys, we don't...
as you come up and just kind of raise your hand at her, she's like,
Just
Well, hand it over. Are you buying this book or not?
Guys, let's leave, please. We don't
Are
need
you
the book.
offering the gold?
No, I want the book.
what?
It's 17 gold. Pay the price, and I give you the book.
He gave
Goods
you
and
gold.
services. This is how it works.
He
I
gave
take my
you
gold back, but not like back. Like
It's
I kind of
17. He
scrape
gave
it.
me 14. This is simple addition, people.
I give her 3 copper.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
I take my money back.
Okay.
We'll
take it.
go.
If you ever want to buy a book, you can come here. If you want to waste my time, don't come here. Goodbye.
I'm gonna
10.
grab their arms and leave.
Okay. As you exit the store, she goes back to
I
reading.
give her 3 copper. I just imagine taking the gold back and then being like,
Wait,
Actually, though, no.
just count out all of my coins, not like caring what
You
what
just pay your
material.
dime.
you count out 3 gold coins and then take 3 copper and give it to her.
Okay, so maybe books.
Well, that
can't
went well.
always help. Do you guys have any ideas?
We could go look in the woods.
We
Yeah,
could
yeah.
investigate the areas of the attacks themselves. We could just kind of check the fields, you know.
I don't. He's kind of a little nervous. I think we should know what we're up against first.
We're up against hags.
We don't know that for sure. We were told that by a man that vomited on himself. It said he ate children.
He does eat children.
Yeah.
I mean, if it eats kids, is it really... I'll keep that thought to myself. Have you ever hunted anything before?
I've
I
eaten
can't say
children.
I
They're not
have.
that bad.
I'm sure. But there's a process. You gotta find all the evidence that the creature leaves behind first. And then you can begin.
The backyard
Precisely.
I
Well,
of the person's house.
Admittedly, I assumed that's what going into the fields would be.
we're hunting women here. This is what we're doing.
Oh,
I suppose this is kind of problematic.
Wait,
what?
let's not
We're just a
hunt.
party hunting down women of all men. That's an issue for another time. It seems we're hunting old women. Now that I say that out loud, it really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
Witches.
Maybe witches. Okay, we're hunting witches. We're hunting witches. One that stole a child. He does not have an accent. He does not say it. One that stole a child, and two of them that stole half a cow. So we should investigate locations where the witches have been to try to find clues.
I'm not gonna let him finish that sentence before I just kind of start walking back towards the Kathy and Joseph's house.
Okay. As you eventually make your way there, after a few minutes, as you go like around to the backyard, and you don't see Joseph immediately in the area.
I'm just gonna start looking. Did he said she jumped out the window?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. 13.
Taking a look around, you see there at the windowsill there seem to be some like scuff marks, a few like tiny scratch marks, and what seems
Scuff
to
and scratch or scratch?
both.
Okay.
And you also find what seems to be. You see two small droplets, and well, you're fairly familiar with this. It seems to be blood, but it seems very old, like old blood that's just kind of in there. And you find this tiny little scrap of entrail or flesh that seems to be just kind of lying on the in the dirt immediately next to where the window is. You find the droplets on the windowsill and the piece of entrail on the
So
it's
let's take
tiny.
this
It's like an
to
inch
the
long.
forensic team, and this does not.
I'm gonna like pick it up and like show it to y'all. Or were they there?
I wanted to,
I mean,
I
did
want-
you guys follow Kepesk as he went
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
Okay.
but I
then,
want to
yeah.
move his hand down. I don't want the parents to see this.
All right.
I like push up against like
Make
I'm like
contested
trying to
strength
show
check.
him. 21.
Nat 20.
As you just grab his hand and push it down forcibly, as you are committed to not letting this family see what could be a piece of their
I
child.
got a 21 total though.
What was your total?
What do I add? Strength? Oh, just 20.
Just well, it's still a natural 20, so it's still
It's
16.
fine.
It's better.
You're. Yeah.
What are you gonna say? You're better.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just gonna drop it.
No, we should hold
You're
on to
gonna say
that.
eat it.
I mean, it's evidence. It's gross, but it's evidence.
I just kind of like plop it in his hand.
you now have a small
Why do you
piece
need this?
of meat in your hand.
I mean, it's something.
But why do we physically need it?
We
He-
don't.
Argon
I
kind of
guess.
like pushes. Let me take a look at this, and
I mean, yeah,
bends
he's a
down.
hunter.
He kind of
You
like
say
takes
we
it.
haven't hunted things before.
He pulls out like a
Sure
small.
you have.
He pulls out a small black dagger and kind of carefully, trying not to stab your hand, like impales it on it and kind of investigates it. Takes a look at it, kind of pokes it slightly.
Ew.
This is rotten.
Cool, so it's old.
What? We could be dealing with something that's undead. Or something that
witch?
drops rotting flesh. I don't know. It could vary. One way or another, I don't think we need a piece of rotten flesh.
Okay.
I eat it.
Okay.
Do I know
You-
what
I
zombies
try to
are?
bite it off.
Don't-
With his
Okay, make a contested dexterity check.
Damn it. 9.
14.
Damn it.
You just kind of like, and like flicks it, and it like shoots over the wall.
I have a lot of questions about your decisions, but I respect it.
He
Undead.
sheathes the dagger.
Old lady.
I guess all we can do is go into the woods.
Yeah.
We gotta kill somebody's dead grandma. Let's do it.
That's my favorite sentence, and that needs to be in the quotes chat.
This is so romantic.
As the
Alligator
the
hiss.
party of bros goes to hunt down old women.
Party of Bros goes to hunt down 2 hoes.
3.
Bros after hoes.
That's the name of the episode.
Okay.
Totally.
So, what would you like to do next?
Head out into the,
Yeah,
about-
into the
woods.
fields.
It's about a little after midday.
northeast of that house.
Wait,
All right,
I
so
want
you're
food
heading
first.
straight off northeast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
All right. As you you discover that there isn't an exit this way, you will have to exit
Can I
around.
climb it?
Make an athletics check.
You could. The lady did scatter off. Scale.
Where
off.
is that? Athletics?
Athletics.
20 total.
20 total. All right. As you just kind of like take a look at this wall, your keen eyes, as you've done things a lot like this before, spot out a few minute places where really no other being would spot tiny little handholds and footholds that
That's
only you
creepy.
have the hand and foot grip to properly scale. As you essentially take a look at this and then skitter up the wall and down over the other side.
like a gecko.
Yeah.
Specifically, like
As you come over, you find yourself in what seems to be to your left is like a field of wheat separated by a small fence, and to your right is a few sheep.
Am I all like on top of the wall, or am I over it?
Well, if you want to stop on top of the wall,
I
you
kind
can.
of do.
Okay. As you stop on top of the wall,
Is it like
you notice that the metallic gargoyle like eyes you and like is just kind of like sitting there staring in your direction.
I skitter
What
back,
do
like
you
continue
see?
over the wall?
Continue over the wall.
Oh.
Okay, as you continue over the wall, you are in this field with the sheep.
I'm gonna press my ear against the other wall and be like, hello.
You whisper against the wall and you hear no response.
He's dead.
I cast teleportation circle. This is teleport 10
Cast
feet.
away.
I cast wish. I want to move 10 feet in that direction.
I wish for there to be a
You
door.
wish, like, into
I
the
wish
wall?
for this wall to not be in my way.
Alright.
Just destroy their infrastructure slowly
See,
over
like,
time.
that could go many ways because it's so vague, so either the wall could, like, collapse or disappear, or I could get really large.
Or like the entire town could teleport 10 feet to the right. So as you watch
Red
Kepesk
Bolt again?
skip
If it just went like
into
into
the sea, as you guys watch Kepesk skitter over the wall, it's just kind of like, oh, that was cool.
That was really impressive. We should go through the gate.
Yeah, let's take the door.
Okay.
As you guys make your way out of the residential
I
area.
saved like a good 10 seconds.
You still have to wait for us to get there.
I'm gonna start looking around immediately.
As about 10 minutes later, the party comes around, and you see now, Kepesk is standing in a field with some sheep, and there is a fence blocking your way between him and you.
I pet the sheep.
As you go ahead and make an animal handling check. As you like kind of
16.
stalk up close to the sheep, most of them kind of like see you and just begin like trotting away, and if you kind of run, and like one particularly dumb or brave sheep kind of with its rectangular dead eyes, and you walk up to it, yeah, and kind of like press your hand against it, and it just kind of like
It's
just
Why did you go for the head,
Just
not the
sinks
wolf?
into the wall.
yeah. Well, because his
and
head
it's
is the wolf.
kind of dirty.
I just
it's
kind
a
of
pretty
just
dirty
rake
sheep.
my not like into its skin, but like
kind of like give
in
it a
its
scratch.
in its.
Can I tell you a story about sheep really very quickly? It's literally like 2 seconds.
Yeah, pause. Well, should I pause?
Well, no.
Okay.
It's just like when you sink your hand. You shouldn't do that. Just because I did that once on my cousin's farm, and like bugs came out.
Yeah.
I was like, sheep,
Kepesk wouldn't
and it just
care.
went like,
People like snacks.
Yeah.
eats the sheep.
The sheep creates snacks.
I just steal
punch
the
the sheep and it just goes boom.
just bugs.
As didn't know that. Thank you for the information. As you kind of scratch along,
Wait, we're still recording, right?
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you actually paused.
As you kind of scratch along, a few bugs begin to appear, and you're like, ooh, and just like,
Yeah.
and enjoy.
Just like a back. Just,
Wait, from a distance, does that look like he just touched a sheep and then went like?
From a distance, it kind of looks like it looks a little bit like he's eating it, as he's just kind of got his face buried in its wool. It's like kind of struggling
No!
slightly as
I
you're
want
holding it
to.
in
I want to
place.
run towards him.
He's just eating the
Because
sheep
I'm
alive.
trying to. I think he's eating.
Make an athletics check to try to jump over the fence. 6. Okay. As you kind of like, you just kind of like a horse trying to get over a fence. It looks really stupid because you're just a dude. As a dude, you could climb over it, but as you're not a dude, you're essentially like trying to like just struggling against it and not like lifting your front legs, as you can't really get the leverage to do so. It's just kind of like struggling against the
The
fence.
image of human legs galloping like hooves.
And it's is it because I can't like articulate my like how someone
because
could
you can't
articulate?
lift your front
So
half.
here's your. You can't just go like this.
Yeah.
You can't just lift your front half, as you're just kind of like struggling against it, as your front legs are just like kind of kicking up dust, as you're just watching human Orion just struggle against the fence in a worthless flailing effort. Just
Simon is laughing too.
okay.
Why are you laughing at me? He's eating a sheep.
I'm not going to
Argon
pay attention
effortlessly
to it.
just kind of vaults over it and is just
Wanna
like
try
sprinting
harder.
towards you, and then realizes you're not eating the sheep and stops. It's like,
As I'm eating, I'm just like
I want to
just
try.
whip
harder.
my head towards
I
him.
have to admit that was fairly distressing. We should get on task.
I remember what we're doing.
What were we doing?
We were looking for evidence.
We were looking for evidence. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was him?
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that was you, sorry.
No, he's like,
I would've
yeah, oh
used-
yeah, I know what we're doing. As he's just going, so, what's our next move? As he's just kind of watching you struggle against the fence. Simon, what you're also across.
I'm
No.
gonna walk over and try to, like, lift him. 'Cause
Okay.
He's
I know,
lot
I know,
heavier
I
than-
know, I know.
Make another check with disadvantage.
for what? Athletics?
Yeah.
That face.
2.
As you're struggling against this, the fence, as you essentially fall on top of Kepesk, as you just kind of lean in and it just
That's a
collapses
really funny
underneath you.
image. If like, okay, so like, visible human Orion is
Mhm.
laying like this, but like Kepesk is here, but he's stuck under the horse butt, and like I'm not getting up. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. You're just kind of like flailing around awkwardly. As the two of you are writhing on the ground in a field as one or two of the sheep begin to
Oh,
run
no.
towards the now down fence. What are we calling this one?
Bros after hoes.
Bros after hose.
Snacks.
Something else was said earlier, but that's the story of this entire campaign. I can't remember what it was.
Was it
I
my,
feel like
my
it should be
Kepesk
sheep
quote?
related.
That was really cool.
Yeah, if
that
you-
was really cool, but I don't think it was that.
I feel like it should be something like, oh sheep,
Oh, sheep.
instead of like, oh shit. Oh sheep.
I think oh sheep's
sheep.
not that bad.
Oh, sheep.
Oh, sheep.
All right. There we have it. Thank you very much for joining us. See you in the next one.